Hey guys, I'm Meredith Gorman, joined by Herald's deputy sports editor, Mark Murphy. Mark, today we kind of mourn the loss of the Bruins legend, Milt Schmidt. He passed away yesterday at 101 years old?
98.
98 years old.
Pretty close.
Pretty close. You're lucky if you live that kind of life that he lived. Can you talk about some of his accomplishments?
Yeah, he had an unbelievable life. I mean, a lot of people talk about what a good person he was, but I mean, as far as also his NHL career, he started playing when he was, I think, 18 years old. He was born in 1918. He won Stanley Cups in 39, I believe, and 41. Then he went and he served 3 years in World War II. So there was 3 years of, he won an MVP, a scoring title before he went to the war. He comes back from World War II and he wins the Hart Trophy, which is the MVP in the NHL in 1951 at like 31 years old. Went on to be the general manager with the Big Bad Bruins in the 70s when they won 2 Stanley Cups, and just was, epitomized the Bruins franchise, for his entire life. And he was still at games. I mean, he was at I think he dropped the puck at the season opener this year. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I saw him alongside Bobby Orr at the season opener, and he looked to be in high spirits, still had a lot of spunk to him, so it's sad
Everybody
to see.
that knew him, I mean, I never met him, but everybody that knew him just said he was just a terrific person. And I mean, what a, similar to Johnny Pesky with the Red Sox, what a great ambassador for the sport and for the team,
Absolutely. And do you think that the Bruins will honor him before their game tonight against the Oilers?
Oh yeah, no, I think there'll be a moment of silence. I'm sure there'll be something in the works. This morning at the morning skate, we have reporters talking to the players about what Schmidt meant to them, and they all knew him. Guys like Chara, they all talked with Schmidt, all the time when he would come to games. So, he was well remembered, and he will be remembered tonight, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Well, rest in peace, Milt. Now, switching gears to the Patriots, Danny Amendola was back on the practice field yesterday, just a few weeks after suffering that high ankle sprain. He missed a few games at the end of the regular season from that injury. Now, are you optimistic that he'll be ready to go for playoffs?
I mean, the bye is sort of the time where these guys, can recuperate quite a bit. Now, he's been out a couple of weeks, and he was at practice yesterday, and he looked pretty good. He was pumped to be out there. I mean, there's the video footage just showing him, headbutting guys, and every single wide receiver came up to him and was excited about it. He looked pretty good. So, I mean, he's got a whole nother week to get himself ready. I think, odds are that he'll be okay. If he's not, the acquisition of Michael Floyd has really helped them sort of, get past any problems they might have in wide receiving core, with Malcolm Mitchell also being hurt, because Floyd's just taken to the system so well and jumped right in that, that whole receiving core hasn't missed a beat. So. Absolutely,
and I know part of the key to the Patriots surviving the playoffs, making it to the Super Bowl, is keeping their offense healthy. I know they've managed to survive without Rob Gronkowski. Martellus Bennett has really stepped up in his shoes. What do you think are some other things that the Patriots need to do in order to kind of secure their spot in Houston?
Yeah, I think everything worked out really well for the Patriots last Sunday. I mean, as far as the way that all the games went down. This first playoff game that they have, the trio of teams that they possibly can play are about as weak as I think that any three have been, heading into a bye week for them. That said, they just can't walk out there and beat these teams. I think similar to how they've been playing, they've taken care of the football and they've forced turnovers, and that's huge in games, because if it comes down to one play or one moment, who wins the turnover battle often tells you who's going to win the game. So that's a big thing. Continuing to ball hawk, but also offensively continuing to hang on to the ball, I think, is a big deal for them.
Absolutely. Now, switching gears again to the Celtics, Jae Crowder went on a Twitter rant after the Utah Jazz game, kind of trashed the Celtics in a way, if you will, said he wouldn't mind being with another team. He got a lot of backlash from Celtics fans for that. But Brad Stevens just kind of dismissed it and said it was just a heat-of-the-moment type of thing. What was your initial reaction when you heard about that?
Well, I mean, it was surprising. He had one comment post-game about feeling disrespected by the fans cheering for Gordon Hayward, which, our reporters at the game said it really wasn't that big of a cheer either. I mean, all the other Utah players, when they got announced, got booed, similar to how opposing players get booed at the Garden when they're announced. But Hayward got a little bit of a cheer, mainly because the Celtics, he's sort of been a name that Celtics fans have thought the team would go after in free agency. You know, but he plays the same position as Jae Crowder. So, you know, would going after Gordon Hayward mean getting rid of Jae Crowder? I think that's where it hit home for Jae Crowder, you know, where he felt disrespected. And, yeah, I mean, you know, athletes, Twitter's a dangerous thing. You know, everybody knows that. You don't have to be an athlete to know that. And, you know, he put something out that was, you know, emotionally charged, and fans reacted to it. And then he got into it with them. So, you know, I think he probably regrets it. In fact, Steven said he does regret it. You know, Crowder's probably going to talk later today at the Celtics media availability, and we'll see how he handles that. So there'll be more to find out about that, you know, as the day progresses. But, you know, I chalk it up as one of these in-the-moment type things. He plays hard. I mean, it's hard to sort of really be mad at Jae Crowder because, you know, on the court, he definitely plays hard. But, you know, you just have to watch it. I mean, in this day and age, social media, you know, it just can explode. So.
Absolutely. And, I mean, you know the Celtics fan base better than anybody. Do you think that they're going to hold a grudge against Jae Crowder for making those comments, even if he apologizes today? And I'm sure he will.
Yeah, I mean, a lot depends on how he handles it today. You know, if he sort of owns up and says, you know, I got caught up in it and I don't really feel that way. I think people, you know, will understand what went on. I don't think there'll be a big grudge, and I think this will go away pretty quickly. If he comes out today and you know, blows it up a little bit more, then obviously we're talking about a different story. But, you know, you know, if he tries to put it to rest, I think it'll go away fairly quickly.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the thing with social media, though. Things blow up, and then they kind of blow over just as quickly as they gained attention. But that wraps up our daily sports rundown. Once again, I'm Meredith Gorman, joined by the Herald's deputy sports editor, Mark Murphy. Thanks for joining us, guys.